in the real world, when everything is back up and running and everything goes back to that fast pace, you know, you will always have this underlying like anxiety. I'm like, yo, did I touch Yao's beard?
Yeah. This is that. Young Pira Overdilla, behind the mic like the will of a vehicular killer. The threading, put it together like a 3 minutes.
What's up? You are now tuned into the Chop Up. I'm Yao Asante, founder of Clico, here with my good brother Bobby, and we are going to be bringing you another exclusive episode showcasing Black entrepreneurship, the pitfalls of business, you know, any questions that you had about anything that's currently affecting us as a people here in the U.S. or even across the world. Let me take this mask off. Let me take off my Clico COVID-19 mask. If you haven't already made your purchase, go to www.clico.org. We do have a wide variety of different masks for children and adults. Please support. All proceeds go to the mission of Clico, which is ensuring that we are enlightening and empowering our people, as well as bridging the gap between American and African diaspora.
And I think right now the biggest thing that everybody's trying to like just wrap around is just like the balance of the new normal.
Yeah.
Like, you know, now you kind of like you work from home, but you everything from home. You know what I mean? Like you're a teacher, you're a babysitter, you're
oh my gosh. Don't even bring up that word. Let me tell you one thing, right? Mm-hmm. So you got kids, I got a kid, and you know, with the schools being shut down, I commend all parents for taking the initiative of making sure their kids are getting homeschooled. Anybody who did homeschooling back in the days, I don't know how you did it, but like I swear, I'm like one lesson away, but before ending up on the news or going to jail, because yo, this school homeschooling stuff, it was crazy, yo. Like every class that a student has, they have like 5 different assignments, right? Now, if you're a working parent, or if you just, you know, you're trying to get by on a day-to-day basis, if you go to work and come home, you try and get some sleep, you know, you got to come home and tend to a kid that's in school. And then these schools have strict guidelines where you got to actually do the schoolwork, you know, depending on your child's age, he or she may be able to do the schoolwork by himself or herself, but it's a lot, man. It's a lot. And it's actually, I know it's causing a lot of stress in the household, right? Because you already got people that's already quarantined, they can't go nowhere. And then on top of that, you telling them to be a teacher, something that they didn't go to school for or probably have no interest in, you know, if they that's not their background. It's crazy.
It's not even about going to school for, it's just something that you didn't plan for. You know, most people, you have a conversation before you have kids, like, all right, listen, this is how we're going to do it. And, you know, send your kids here for school, daycare, and everything. Yeah, this is just like, this is just literally like a glitch in the matrix of what your life is. And it affects you. It affects your mental health. I mean, I won't lie. Like, listen, I go from like, you know, daddy daycare to like Joe Clark, lean on me, and like that.
There's only one boss in this place, and that's me. Discipline is not the enemy of enthusiasm.
Like, it goes left fast. You know? Like, it's just, I don't even know how these teachers are not whooping these kids. When these kids go back and the teacher's like, yo, I had to like put fire to that ass, I probably wouldn't be that upset.
But we got a real cool episode for you today. We want to talk a little bit about how the COVID-19 coronavirus has impacted people across the world, not only here in the U.S. So we have a special guest here that we want to actually bring on board to kind of talk about his journey through mental health awareness and some of the business endeavors that he's actually done recently to help people in his surroundings. So without further ado, you know, Simply Ed, he is actually the owner of Reset Foundation. Let's see if we can get Ed on the line right now.
Where you at, Ed?
What's up, guys?
My boy Ed. Welcome to the Chop Up.
Thanks for having me, man. I guess we're going to chop it up today, right? So yeah, I founded in 2018, towards the end of the year, a mental health platform called Reset, to focus on mental health. So in its name, in itself, Reset means just to literally reset yourself, but it's also an acronym for remember every situation encourages transformation. And it's just the whole notion of creating a platform to provide free services for people to support them with their mental health. So before the lockdown, we had sponsorships from big restaurants in which they paid for us to take people out on a monthly basis in group settings to talk about mental health and one-to-one. But then since then, we've changed, like many companies, to online services.
Yeah, no. So what sparked you creating this, organization? Like, do you have any personal experience in mental health, or is it that you thought was a need in the world?
So basically, you know how lockdown is for people now?
Yeah.
That was what I was going through. So I suffered with like severe OCD, anxiety, and depression. So I was housebound for 2 years, and I kind of made a promise to myself and also to God that if I get through it, I'll create a platform. So I kind of worked my way through it, got out of it, and then decided to create something to support people, because I knew issues with accessing mental health services are, waiting times and also finances for people. So I wanted to make sure everything we done was for free, and also gave people quick access to gaining support whilst they're waiting for professional help in terms of one-to-one support or therapy.
Nice, man. And just a follow-up question. So for most of us, right, when we don't, especially in our community, mental health has such a stigma around it, right? Not just Black, but African community, they don't even talk about mental health, right? That's not even the conversation that's being held. What are the signs? Like, what prompted you? Because 2015, how old were you? Like, you're probably mid-20s.
5 years ago, 32, I was 27.
27, right? Yeah. So it's past you going to college for the first time, or you graduating for the first time, like two momentous things, right? So what made you realize, like, hey, I'm going through something here, like at 27, right? Like, if you've never experienced it, what are some of the signs that people should kind of like, check for?
I think from personal experiences, I think similar to physical health, our physical health, we all have mental health. We all experience it. We all experience anxiety, low times, high times, or some people have OCD tendencies. But I think the issue comes when it impacts your day-to-day life, and you can't do the simple things like maybe go out, even get up to bath to eat, or do stuff like that. So for me personally, I think after I graduated, I was just doing back-to-back stuff. So I went on the fitness journey, lost 5 stone. I'm not sure what that is in pounds, but it's like 90-something pounds or something like that. Decided to start a fitness company. Then I had a networking company, and everything was back-to-back. So I think in 2015, I decided to do a challenge, which was to travel to 12 countries in 12 months. And I think that's the first time in a long time I spent time with myself, because some of those countries I went to by myself. And then I realized that, everything that I'd pushed behind was an issue. So I was having issues where I felt uncomfortable being around people, touching stuff, where even getting up and doing the basic stuffs was like literally, it just took me longer to do certain things. So I think when it impacts your day to day, and kind of your thinking kind of changes. So if it's the basic stuff like eating, even bathing or getting out, when it starts impacting your day to day activities, I think that's where you should start potentially trying to look for some sort of support, or reach out to maybe your doctor to get some advice.
What's some of the programs that you have to kind of help people combat their stress and their depression?
So we've been lucky enough to, just before the COVID, is to gain some funding. So what I designed with, I've got a team that works with me, but what my ideas that I brought to the team that we made happen was to create an online service, because everything's gone online, and I targeted the group. So we actually run sessions on a weekly basis. So for instance, on a Monday, we've got music therapy. Tuesday, we've got an open session that's run by a CBT therapist, addressing issues such as anxiety, your thinking, negative thinking. On Wednesday, we've got a women's only group. Thursday, we've got art therapy sessions, and Friday, we've got a men's support group, and they're all run by professionals. We just provide a platform, they host it, and they run the sessions.
And this is all, I'm sorry, this is all online based?
Yeah, this is all online based, all on Zoom. So what we've done is Tuesday's open to about 20 people, so people get together. It's more just to have the conversations, learn about topics such as negative thinking and anxiety. And then, for instance, Monday session, which is the music therapy, the art therapy session, the men's and women's are smaller groups. So we've got the same group of 7 people that attend every week. And what we found with that is important to provide a safe space for them and also familiar faces. So they've been able to actually bond within themselves and open up using different forms. So we've got the general kind of modes of like one-to-one therapies or group, but we've added different creative ways. So you've got art, people expressing their feelings through art and pictures. You've got people expressing themselves through music. And we've got a group for women only, so they can talk about the issues surrounding them, and also a men's one. Especially because, especially over here in the UK, men have the highest rates of suicides and less likely to talk or access services. So we've created
that's across the board.
Yeah. So we've created a group just for men, women, and then an art therapy one that's open to everyone, and the music therapy and the Tuesday one that's kind of open to everyone in general. So that's what we've kind of set up online. And we've been lucky to have some great people attend on a regular basis. And it's just nice to be able to provide something where people don't feel restricted. They don't have to leave their house to attend. And it's for free. Sessions are an hour, and they just come along. And they don't have to talk. They don't have to put their camera on, because just being present is sometimes enough. And then over time, we've seen the people that usually turn their cameras off will turn it on. It's just really to provide a safe, confidential space for people to talk and to just normalize the conversation around mental health. Same way we'll talk normally about our physical health, we need to do the same with our mental, because I believe it starts there before anything else.
Now, are all these events free?
All free events.
For the most part, outlets such as this, just like able to like literally communicate with people that are not in your home, not in your in your face 24/7 is part of just like helping our mental health. What are some of the ways that you think, because for the masses, I think there are some traumatic effects that will occur just based off of this that we don't really understand now, but they may manifest, in time, right? Even when the world's open up, I think this 2-month period, 3-month period of us just stopping is literally like going to prison, like suddenly, right? For something that you had no idea that you had a warrant for, which is like, but like whatever.
We
won't talk about that on this. But so what are some of like the mental health, like at home, self-help tips that you can provide that can just, center, that we can use to center ourselves or keep ourselves in a good mental space?
Yeah. So first of all, I'll just start there. I feel like, having been in lockdown before, I think a lot of things are going to change for people. A lot of people are going to be affected by it. There's going to be a lot of changes in regards to the way people travel, and people possibly picking up OCD tendencies, because we've kind of been designed to be in an OCD state of keeping away from people, not touching stuff, being extra clean. So, and just people being in their own space is probably going to build up anxiety and depression. So for me, first of all, I feel it's important just to take time, just to use this rest time while the world is stopped, to stop yourself and not to follow trends. So I know it's good that, you see people training online, eating well, getting healthy. Yeah. It's not for everyone. So don't feel like you have to follow everyone, and just use this time to kind of recenter yourself. Do the stuff that you love doing. So if it is movies you love doing, watch movies. Don't feel that you have to use the lockdown to start a business, to get fit, to start eating well. If it's just movies and just resting that you need to do so. But if you have the capacity to, stuff like reading, cooking, working out, all those stuff will help you with your mental and keep you focused. But if it's just you taking the time to stop, just do it. Don't feel obliged to follow where everyone's going. My advice to people is use this time to really get to know yourself again and find the stuff that you love that brings you peace. Because what this whole situation will show us is that a lot of things that we held dear to our heart or cared about really doesn't matter in the great scheme of things. What really matters is the people around us, the people, family, friends, and really just the stuff that we love. So if we can really use this time to find ourselves, I think that's the most important thing. And before anything, to be kind to ourselves.
What do you think are like some of the top signs of somebody actually going through an episode of depression?
Usually it's stuff like low moods, sadness, feeling tearful, losing self-value, not really feeling yourself, like finding it difficult to make decisions, feeling anxious. So it kind of feeds into anxiety as well and could lead to like panic attacks. Sadly, it could, form in stuff like suicidal thoughts, which could, lead to other serious things as well. But alongside how you're feeling, there's also like physical attributes. So like you say, lack of sleeping, lack of energy, not being able to eat, losing weight because you haven't got an appetite, and just like different changes to your body in general. So I think not only does it have a mental effect, because of the ripple effect of it being a problem with your mental, also will show in your physical. Okay. Because even for me, let me check the weight. Like, I didn't realize until I got some information from you guys do pounds, right?
Yeah.
So I went when I was going through my depression, I went days without eating. I was just sleeping. I went all the way down to 10 stone. That's 140 pounds.
100 and what?
40 pounds.
From what?
Yeah. You went up 140 pounds?
No, I went down to 10 stone.
Went down. Okay.
Yeah.
What were you before?
So originally I was about 180 pounds before. 180 to 185, yeah. Then I'm just doing your numbers here. I went all the way down to 140. So I lost just over 40 pounds. In the space of maybe and that's in the space of 4 months.
The government's also allowed businesses to take out, small business loans to basically help combat how the pandemic has impacted their organization. What resources or tools have been provided to businesses out there in the UK?
To be honest, I haven't looked. For me personally, I've kept away from the news. I've just been really just focused on myself and what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. But I know they've given loans to small businesses. They do this thing called furlough, where they pay up to, if you're furloughed basically, they pay up to 80% of your wages. You don't work. You're just basically off work. You're still employed, but the furlough, I think, don't quote me too much, but I think it works where they pay 80% of your wages and you're not at work no more because your work can't do the work at the moment because they've been closed down. But obviously there's a lot of essential workers like supermarkets and the doctors that work. So they have put stuff in place to support big businesses, small businesses, and self-employed people.
That's all good information. So how can people stay in touch with what you're doing and kind of follow you on social media?
All right, so if you want to follow me personally, it's at ed_du2, and then Reset on all platforms is at Reset, RESET_MH, which stands for mental health.
I think what you're doing is amazing, man. Like just sharing. I mean, I know it's hard to share your deepest, darkest moments in life, right? A lot of people are not that open to doing it. And you taking that and almost taking, the lemons and turning it into lemonade and quenching other people's thirst is a testament to your character. And, the great things ahead for you. So are you still London's most eligible bachelor right now? No, you still. Come on, man! You got the beard, the baldy, the accent. People may want to know. People may want to know the comment section later.
Yeah. They may subscribe to our channel, man. We may have to have you every week.
Tune in for the next episode for that answer.
The mind like IQs, intelligent signs in all kinds of haiku. Cobra Kai turn high top fade to Caillou. Who spec the man stands and fight the kaiju.